I don't like being alone. I'm not good on my own. My head gets so loud. And shit doesn't make. Nothing syncs up. I start thinking about my thinking. And getting lost in the details of nothing.
Well, Phantomschmerz back in the day in 2016 was what I considered until now the top peak of what we ever did, because it was just so, to us, so meaningful and so deep that for myself I could never top it in a way. And so after Morlin joined again, it was like completely logical to me that we should try to just tap back into that mindset we had back then and just try to express where we are now as a continuation of what we did back then. I think that the evolution will probably be like, right now we're mostly much more accepting and working with our inner like wars and problems than back in the day. We were just very desperate and angry and on a very, very bad downward spiral, which we thankfully stopped and worked over it. Just take the pain, take the hurt and work through it, and you will find that there's always some form or some spot of hope or some relentless struggle to come over shit. So it's all about just being able to overcome. I'm trying to revisit like old thematics like mental illness and anxieties and social mishaps, but working through them symbolically. So I'm working again a lot with Dante Alighieri stuff, with philosophy stuff. Actually, it's like the expression of the philosophical journey from hell through purgatory.
Which definitely goes from anger to acceptance.
Yeah. The goal of the band has always been about having a tool to express and to let go of negative emotions and negative thoughts and traumas, anxieties, everything. Like it's like therapy actually, like just using art as a tool to face your inner demons and overcome them, if possible, in the best way. And I'm glad that this has all kept us sane over the years and made our lives more stable. Like, it's good that we have this. It's therapy, it's art, it's everything. It surely has been in the past. Like back in the day, I had a lot of struggles with the other band members because we disagreed on many things. But by now, actually, what I'm trying to actively do, especially also with this record, is everyone is able to tell their own version of their story and to bring their own lyrics in, like patchworking everything. And sometimes it's hard, but it's most of the time it's very, very fulfilling, because I have always said that Coma is like a family and every person in this band has a voice. So let's just hear them.
As a more technical side of things, as a producer, the very first thing that I saw was that the band deserved to be understood in a production sense. So it was my goal with my means back then to try to make it okay, and without going too technical or too annoying, the differences of styles that Coma gives, which can be between ambient, noise, drone, more extreme metal moments, sometimes pop elements, nowadays with hip-hop too, for instance. It's not easy to actually ask and produce this kind of music. And it was pretty much my pride to being able to do that back then on the Phantom Schmerz one. It's not within like my prerogatives to always enter bands because I have already a lot and I do not want to repeat myself in terms of emotions. As well to be able like to express myself, express emotions that only Coma helps me to. Having been there, it's been a wild ride, but the good kind of, because it's pretty much taking me outside of some comfort zones that I can have. I have as well sometimes my own vision. I can be a bit too much on taking things, but I always come back because first, as a producer, I need to work for the band, by the band. And so entering this band, understanding might be a big toll for me, but I know that we both share this, you as the mastermind and me as the sub, in a way. You can take it how much as you want. But the thing is, the more that I've been into this band, the more I've seen its evolution to something which is really unique in terms of moods, and that pretty much boundaries crushing without sacrificing our integrity. Whether would that be selfish integrity or the band's integrity. To me, it's a part of me that I'm really happy to be a part of. And it's always, a bit difficult to enter a band that I didn't form in its birth, and consider it as my own band. I think it's way much more difficult for a band member like that to admit that and understand that than having, someone that say, now you're in the band. Because it's always, yeah, I'm in the band, okay, it's cool. But like being able to say that's my band because I give myself and I understand it and I get through it. It means something. It's a bit deeper than I'm just a fucking band member of another band, We try to not just only make a sequel per se, but like you say, making it something a bit different as we evolved and we accepted things. We're not that angry, even though we're still angry, but we've grown the right way with our issues and all of that. And this evolution is really felt throughout the whole songs, actually. It's not different, and then it is. It's not better, it's not worse, then it's also different, but then it's not. It's also very deep emotional music, so when we scream, you feel the scream. When we sing, you feel that we want to make you go in the atmosphere. And then when we use noises, you know where we're going. And when we mix all of this together, you end up with this maelstrom of emotions that any listener is not going to be normally fully appreciative at the first listen. And to me, that goes back to how I was listening music back then, 25 years ago, something like this. when, you know, I had a tape, I was opening the tape and I was listening to the whole album and reading the lyrics. And even if I didn't like it, I would just listen again and again, just to be able to give myself the chance to understand. And that's pretty much how it feels, and how now, you know, that it's done. That's how I sense it. It's not just music, like you said, it's art therapy. And there's this chance to being able to do it actively. And now I cannot wait for the album to be fully finished. So I can, as a listener, have the passive catharsis that this gives me, and that it will hopefully give to people too.
In 2013 habe ich Void kennengelernt und wir haben uns sofort sehr gut verstanden. Und dann zeigte er mir irgendwann die Demoaufnahmen zu Forgotten und ja, hat mich sehr bewegt. Ich habe ihn dann gefragt, ob wir ein Video zusammen drehen wollen. Ich habe viele Jahre Tanzerfahrung und ja, habe dann eine Choreo geschrieben und wir haben uns getroffen, alles ganz spontan, und haben in den Katakomben in Feldkirch ein Video gedreht mit einer einzigen Kameraeinstellung. Und ja, dann war ich so irgendwie mit dabei und dann irgendwie auch wieder nicht. Und ja, dann als die Aufnahmen für Phantomschmerz begonnen haben, war ich dann richtig dabei, habe ein paar Texte eingesprochen. Viele Texte fürs neue Album sind auch zu dieser Zeit entstanden und unter anderem auch die letzten 7 Jahre. Nach Phantomschmerz war ich aus persönlichen Gründen erstmal nicht mehr bei Koma dabei, und ja, jetzt als das neue Album geplant war, hat Void mich wieder gefragt, wieder kontaktiert. Wir hatten dann wieder viel mehr Kontakt und ja, meine Antwort war nur: Warum hast du nicht früher gefragt? Ich denke nicht darüber nach. Ich ziehe die Maske auf und ich fühle in mich rein, und mein Körper macht das dann einfach von alleine. Ja, ich finde, dass Tanz von innen kommt, und in dem Moment, wenn der Kopf angeht und man sich denkt, oh, was mache ich jetzt, ist es einfach nicht mehr authentisch, weil man dann plant. Und manchmal habe ich auch solche Momente, wo ich dann denke, oh je, und jetzt? Irgendwie bin ich jetzt gerade da. Dann bleibe ich einfach kurz mal stehen und lasse mich einfach fallen. Und dann stehe ich wieder auf. Und dann lasse ich mich wieder fallen. Und das tut danach meistens weh, aber für die Aufnahmen lohnt es sich immer. Also der Prozess war super entspannt. Überraschenderweise war alles mega schnell im Kasten. Wir sind ja doch viele Leute, die überall wohnen, nur halt nicht im gleichen Ort. Das hat es etwas komplizierter gestaltet, aber das Organisieren lief richtig gut. Ja, und eigentlich ist es immer ein Fest, wenn wir uns dann sehen, weil wir uns halt selten persönlich sehen. Ich bekomme bei Koma die Möglichkeit, eine Seite von mir rauszuholen, die ich im Alltag nicht rauslassen kann. Und das ist sehr wertvoll für mich. Ich finde, dass wir alle gemeinsam großartige Arbeit geleistet haben. Es sind wahnsinnig tolle Ergebnisse rausgekommen. Jeder hat sein Bestes mit reingegeben. Und ich hoffe einfach, dass dass andere das sehen, schätzen können, für sich selber was mitnehmen. Ja. Das ist ähnlich wie beim Tanzen tatsächlich und hört sich auch wieder komisch an, weil man beim Schreiben doch sehr viel mehr denken muss. Zum Beispiel auf dem Gesteinsschädel dieser Stadt habe ich in der Zeit geschrieben, als wir Phantomschmerz aufgenommen haben. Und ja, wir waren in Feldkirch unterwegs und Void erzählte mir was über den Stadtstrophen und das hat mich einfach berührt. Und dann habe ich das Gefühl in mir gespürt und dann ist es einfach aus mir rausgesprudelt. Dann habe ich einfach die ersten Notizen gemacht und so läuft es dann meistens, dass ich quasi Ideen sammle und wenn ich dann Zeit habe, einen Moment habe, wo ich sage, okay, jetzt könnte es laufen, dann fange ich an, diese Textfetzen zu kombinieren und höre halt erst damit auf, wenn ich damit zufrieden bin. Und wenn ich damit zufrieden bin, dann schicke ich das Void und dann sprechen wir drüber und ja, und wenn es gut ist, dann nehmen wir es.
An integral part of what Coma is the sound design and soundscaping using synthesizers. And what we use here is a mixture of analog and digital synthesizers in Eurorack. It's like a hybrid setup, as I call it, or as it's called. The technical aspect is not that much in the foreground. The approach is always what kind of emotion needs the song to evoke and what kind of sound can achieve that. From my personal perspective, what I think is, since humans are from a biological point of view speaking, voltage, electricity, magnetic fields, etc., etc., everything analog serves as a kind of extension of the human soul per se, because if everything is electricity, then those are extensions to the limbs, basically. And I'm using effects pedals as well to modify the sound even further. Tape modulation, drum machines, whatever it takes.
Das Tollste an Koma zu sein, ist in einem Haufen wirklich sehr, sehr gleichgesinnter Menschen zusammen etwas zu machen und auf einer Ebene zu sein, ohne sich im Prinzip groß zu kennen. War da im Prinzip gleich eine Verbindung da und das bedeutet mir wahnsinnig viel. Was auch immer ich reinbluten darf, das blute ich freilich rein. Unterschiedlich. Es kann gerne sein, einfach ich nehme ein Blatt Papier und kotze im Prinzip erstmal eine Ladung Wörter drauf. Das muss dann erstmal schön halbwegs in Ordnung gebracht werden, damit das auch halbwegs Sinn ergibt und halbwegs funktioniert. Aber es ist schon mit einer Art Befreiung, die definitiv Art des Selbstausdrucks und die Emotionen in eine Form zu bringen, die einen glücklich macht. Ich weiß nicht, wie gewöhnlich das ist, aber Tanzen bedeutet für mich, gerade wenn es in Verbindung mit Musik ist, die ich performe, dass ich mich quasi die Musik von dem Besitzer greifen lasse und einfach mache, einfach tue, einfach für den Moment völlig ausschalte, dass ich mich in der Gegenwart befinde und wie besessen einfach mich bewege, wie es mir gefällt. Eine Assoziation, die ich persönlich damit hatte, waren die epileptischen Anfälle, die mein kleiner Bruder früher hatte. Weil meine Form von Tanzen ist nicht immer schön und dann bin ich sehr glücklich, dass sie auch etwas unangenehm sein kann. Und vor allem war es schön, das erste Mal mit meiner Bandschwester zusammen zu tanzen. Und ich hoffe noch, dass ich das öfter tun kann. Das war ein richtig tolles Gefühl.
So since we have 4 vocalists, we decided to work with the method of exquisite corpse. Means that we have an overall theme, overall thematic of the songs, but every vocalist writes their own lyrics and their own approach and their own words, which is interesting because you get different approaches and different meanings for each and every part. In my case, I started to get inspired by Molin's mirror thematics that hit her close to home, and I can somehow relate because we all have issues. One of my issue is self-perception and dysphoria and shit. So I took this as a starting point and started to incorporate symbolistical approaches once again with Dante Alighieri's Inferno, such as the subcycles of the last circle of hell and their meaning for the human psyche. And also it's kind of difficult to explain because when you write songs about your inner workings, you tend to get to a point where you repeat yourself over and over again. So at this time, I wanted to change that and completely changed the direction of the approaches and the thematics, which is a harsh reality, but it's also I hope at the end cathartic. We'll see. We'll see. It's always painful to face your own weaknesses, especially through music. And although you sometimes have the luxury or the hope to change things, but that's not always the case. You can reflect so many times on things, but you can never change and never accept stuff. We'll see how it goes this time. We'll fucking see.